Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Beneath the Steel Sky, and when last we left off, let's get out of here before somebody spots that we're here and shouldn't be, and shoots us. We use our card here, get scanned, and then go down the elevator without a problem, because that Phoenix program that we activated has allowed us access to all areas for 48 hours. This means that we can now go to ground level, and we're one step closer to getting out of Union City. But we're not going to be getting out of Union City just yet. We need to help Anita, and questions are now starting to get answers. We now know why that helicopter crashed all those years ago and killed our mother, because she was trying to defect back to Hobart with us, and the security forces did not want that to happen. Or was it LINC that didn't want that to happen? Either way, she died, and we lived, and we forgot our surname was Robert Overman. We've been going by Robert Foster for a while, and the security forces appeared to know that when they were searching for us. Why was LINC looking for us? Why are we so important? And is our father still alive? All these questions we probably will get the answer to. But first, we need to go down to ground level.
Come on, Joey.
Come along, Joey! We have to go all the way down to where all the rich people are. Maybe somebody there will be able to give us some answers. Or at the very least, we can go search for somebody who could. Because all the towers are connected to the ground after all. And we can just go to another tower if we need to. The elevator down to ground level is over here. And our card should work on this just fine. If you thought this place looked nice, you haven't seen the place we're going to go to yet. So let's use our card, go down, and we'll get Joey to come along. Look at how nice the interior of this is already. An improvement. Joey?
Oh no! Joey must have forgotten he'd changed shells.
Uh-oh.
I hope his board isn't broken.
I don't think his board is broken, but unfortunately, we have lost Joey, at least for the time being. We'll have to find him a new shell at some point, and this is now labelled as junk.
I ought to move that trash.
Can we?
It's too heavy to carry.
No, we can't. Welcome to ground level. It's very nice here. There are loads of plants, there's a pool. There's this here that doesn't look especially nice. It's a building project in progress. Let's look at that rope.
It's attached to some bricks via a pulley.
Can we do anything with it? Ah! We could use that seesaw at some point, just not yet.
It's pivoted in the middle, like a seesaw.
That's the game giving you a hint that this is going to be important.
That's too big and heavy to carry.
And that's the game giving you a hint that you need to use the rope so that you can get the seesaw to work. We're going to save, as now we're on the ground level, things might get more dangerous for us. There's somebody right here that we can talk to. Let's have a conversation. What's the worst that could happen, eh? A lot is the answer. Hello? What are you guarding?
What's through that door?
It's off limits to the likes of you.
I just wondered where it leads.
It's the old cathedral. There's nothing interesting in there. In fact, it's empty.
If it's empty, why are you guarding it?
Why guard an empty cathedral?
I'm not guarding it exactly. I'm just standing here.
Preventing me from entering.
Yes.
I call that guarding. Definitely guarding.
Do you know the woman with the dog?
Oh yes, that's Mrs. Piermont, the richest woman in Union City. And the ugliest.
We're going to have to talk to her at some point. Let's ask this question. I'm sure this'll go well.
What's the best way out of the city?
There isn't a way out.
Then the inhabitants are no better than prisoners.
That's the price of progress.
That sounds like a terrible price to me.
Never mind.
We can't go past you. We could try. No, we can't.
Never mind.
The guard is blocking the way. Let's have a look around, shall we? There's an area over here that we can have a look at. And that brings us to these two. Let's talk to both of them, starting with the gardener, after of course we look at everything. There's a LINC terminal, and there are some plants. Let's look at that LINC terminal.
It's a standard LINC terminal.
Notice that this terminal looks nicer than the other ones that we've encountered, as this is a LINC terminal on the ground level. Let's look at the plants.
The leaves are shiny and waxy.
Waxy?
It's too firmly rooted to pull up.
Curious.
The leaves are shiny and waxy.
Fair enough. Here's a button and an elevator. The elevator, I imagine, leads to somewhere that somebody lives. We'll try the button.
It's the call button for an apartment.
Anyone home?
There's no reply.
I guess not, which means we can't use this.
No card slot. Must be a private elevator.
Oh, that it is.
Maybe I could force it open with psychic energy. Or not.
If you had psychic energy all this time, Foster, a lot of the puzzles that we'd be doing would be a lot simpler. Let's talk to the gardener, shall we? I'm sure he has lots to tell us.
Excuse me.
Smart floral display. Are they real? What do you think?
They look kind of shiny.
Naturally. I've just varnished them.
Do you paint the flowers too?
This is Union City, not Wonderland. You obviously know nothing about plants.
I think we probably know more about plants than you do, if you've just varnished them.
Won't the varnish harm the plants?
Au contraire, Clever Dick. It filters out the crap in the atmosphere.
Well, we've learned something today. Union City is dreadful for plants.
What are you doing to that plant?
I'm modelling a living sculpture. It's called topiary, and it's an art form.
What are those flowers called, by the way?
What are those blue flowers called?
They're dandelions. Don't touch them!
They're pretty. But why can't I touch them?
Because if you do, you'll wet your bed.
I haven't done that for months.
Blue dandelions, eh?
See you later.
You may be right about the varnish filtering out the stuff in the atmosphere so the plants can survive in Union City, but blue dandelions? Let's talk to this person here. Maybe this person can give us some information that will help us figure out just what's going on over there with that gardener. Hello?
Hello. Who are you?
My name's Vincent. What's yours?
I'm Robert. You can call me Rob.
We have lots of things that we can ask about, starting with this question that's quite important. Why aren't you at school?
Why aren't you at school, Vincent?
My tutor's malfunctioned. I tried to reprogram it to play video games.
Your tutor, I imagine, is this small console that you're playing on.
Would you like me to repair your tutor?
I can do that myself. But then I'd have to go back to my studies.
Learning is very important. You should probably focus on that. But while you're playing that game, we might as well ask what the game's about.
What's that you're playing with?
It's my handheld games console.
Neat. What's the game?
It's called Fleecy the Lamb.
That sounds nice. What's the objective?
Torch the mutant psychos with your flamethrower and stop Dr. Mantis from butchering the orphans.
But that's horrible.
Yeah, I've played better.
That title is very deceptive.
What other games have you got?
Not many, 'cause they're too expensive. They're smuggled into the city from Hobart. I've got Nobby, the platform game, Onan the Barbarian, and Revenge of the Deadly Dandelions.
Dandelions? What color are they?
Yellow, of course. Everyone knows that.
The gardener told me they were blue.
He's mad. He's not a real gardener.
Isn't he now? Well, that's some information.
Do you know a man called Overman?
No, Rob. Why do you want to know?
He's my dad.
Aren't you a little old to have a dad?
Last time I saw him, I was a little boy. I was taken away to the Gap.
The Gap? Oh, wow! I'd like to escape to the Gap. I'm tired of being told what to do.
I think the life in the Gap is a little more difficult than you think it is. Let's ask about the woman with the dog. Maybe we can get more information about her.
Do you know the woman with the dog?
That's Mrs. Piermont, and she's a pig.
That's not a very nice thing to say.
Well, she tried to confiscate my console. She gave me a lecture and tried to force me to join the Junior Security Corps.
Don't wear your thumbs out.
Don't wear out your thumbs.
Let's confront this gardener, shall we?
Excuse me.
You're not a real gardener at all! You're a false gardener! A fake gardener!
You told me dandelions were blue.
Did I? Well, what of it?
This boy assures me they're yellow.
Ugh, smart-assed little brat. All right, you got me sussed. I haven't had any formal training, but I've always dreamed of being a gardener. I love 'em, every little shrub and succulent. Those dainty blossoms waving their little stamens in the breeze.
All right, I get the point.
You won't report me, will you?
Why should I do that?
There's something else going on here that we haven't quite figured out. But we'll be back to you. It should say fake gardener there, but it doesn't. Ah, there's something here. There's a door.
The door has an old-fashioned lock on it.
An old-fashioned lock, eh? Can we open the door?
Won't open. That's probably because it's locked.
Yep, that makes sense. Let's look at that lock.
It's an old-fashioned cylinder lock.
We're gonna have to get that open.
I need a key to open that.
Maybe we could use our card to open it? It's worth a try.
It's an old trick, but it still works.
Marvelous, let's go in. Well, this place is interesting. Museum Station. There's a map, there's a rusty machine, there are stairs that have been bricked up. We could have a look at that brickwork.
The stairway has been bricked up.
I wonder why.
Why did I waste my time doing that? Being in this city must be cracking me up.
Because I told you to, Foster, and you must do what I say. Dance, Foster, dance! Dance for my amusement! Okay, you won't dance for my amusement. Let's just find the thing that we need in here. But keep in mind that that was bricked up. That may be important for later.
It's an old map, but it means nothing to me.
It won't be important for later because we're going to go through this. But we may end up on the other side of that wall anyway.
The map is painted on a big sheet of metal. Not the sort of map you'd fold and put in your pocket.
I believe that is a subway map. Not that you'd know that, Foster. Here are some secateurs. We're going to need these.
They're for cutting and pruning plants.
The gardener might need this, though I don't think we're going to be giving it to the gardener. Also, notice that there's no music in here at all. There being no music makes this area very sinister and foreboding. We want these. And we'll have a look at them in our inventory, because why not? The secateurs are dark with rust, but still sharp. What about this machine?
It has a list of names with little buttons beneath.
I believe this is where we would get a ticket. were this still a station that worked.
The mechanism has rusted solid.
We're not going to be doing much with this. Anything else that we can look at? No? Let's go then. It's a very nice pool there, or is it a pond? Maybe it was one at one point and has become another since then. Hello, you! You're guarding this club, the St. James's Club. And there's a sign on this door. Let's look at that sign first, before we talk to you. We're gonna have to talk to you. We need to get into that club at some point.
Court closed. See LINC for news of forthcoming attractions.
Attractions? At the courthouse? This truly is a strange place that we're in. Can we take the sign?
The notice is glued to the door.
They're gonna have to apply that paint again. We can't look at the dog. We can talk to Mrs. Piermont though whenever we like. We'll do that in a little bit. We're still looking around.
Doors are unremarkable, but this one has a certain je ne sais pas.
This place does look really nice for Union City. Can we open the door?
Shut tight.
Fair enough. Now let's talk to the doorman, shall we? I'm sure he'll let us in. He's not going to let us in, is he?
Excuse me.
Hold it. Your membership card, please.
I don't have one.
This is a private club.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You do now. Piss off.
Well, he's not friendly. Let's compliment his shoes.
Smart shoes.
Oh, thanks. You can tell a lot from a man's shoes. The design tells you what kind of man he is. The way he cares for them tells you where he's going.
And what he's trodden in tells you where he's been.
That's a good thing to add there, Foster. But it's not going to help us get in.
How do I join the club?
You have to be sponsored by an existing member. It's a most exclusive establishment, frequented only by those with the proper credentials.
You mean people with money?
No, people with credit. There's a world of difference. People with money think they can afford not to care. People with credit know they can't, but don't care anyway.
Interesting distinction. But what goes on in there? Why would I want to join?
What goes on in the club?
If I was to tell you that this club provides recreational facilities par excellence for a clientele with elegance and taste, I'd be lying through my teeth.
You just said it was exclusive.
Oh, it is exclusive, but seedy. The reason people come here is the cheap booze, and the fact that it's off-limits to security.
Off-limits to security, eh? Who knows what's talked about down there? Do you know anyone who'd sponsor me? We really want to get in there at some point.
Do you know anyone who'd sponsor me?
What about old widow Piermont? She used to come here, years ago. If you chatted her up, she might sponsor you.
I don't know Mrs. Piermont personally.
Oh, you must have seen her, with her dog. Mrs. Piermont is the one with 2 legs.
I think I could have figured that out.
See you later.
So this is a club that's been made from an old station area. You can tell by the St. James sign. And when we come back, folks, we're going to talk to Mrs. Piermont. There's a lot to talk about with Mrs. Piermont. We're going to get a significant plot dump from her. But to get that, we're going to have to talk to her. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. We have seen a fair amount of the game's areas already, but we are going to be going back between quite a few of them for some time yet. there will be a sort of point of no return at some point, and I'll be sure to mention that to you when we get there. Also, this is definitely a pond and not a pool. I thought it was a pool, but we've seen far too many plant things and lily pads in there for it to be a pool. Either that or it's some strange kind of natural pool that people swim in. Not likely. But hey, who knows? In Union City, anything is possible. Except us getting out right now. We can't get out at the moment. Nobody can get out according to the guard. It's not a nice place to live, is it? Not really. Even though it looks nice, it's not nice. Later.